This is the Advanced Selling Podcast.
I meditate. I light a candle I burn in the Northwest.
The aim of this podcast is to help business sales teams grow their business with modern strategies and philosophies. Now your hosts, Bill Caskey and Bryan Neal.
So this is the Advanced Selling Podcast. I'm Bryan Neal.
Bill Caskey.
Good to see you again, Bill. Long time no see. It's been at least 8 seconds. Could have done a bull ride in that time. We're here every week bringing you different strategies and ideas. We've got some cool things to talk about here in the Advanced Selling Podcast. We have a new show.
We do. We didn't mention it last week, but we mentioned it the week before.
So we're kind of we don't want to inundate people.
We don't want to overhype it.
Yeah, we've shot 13. Yeah, the network bought 13 episodes, right? So we're doing the first season. It's in the books. It's called Whiteboard Wednesday. Where can everyone find that, Bill?
WhiteboardWednesday.tv. And it might even be at the bottom of your screen here if Jill's doing her job. But it's a bi-weekly web TV show for salespeople.
It is. Yeah, good stuff. So you can consume some good content here. That's probably a little more fun, but a little more enjoyable. This is fun.
This is not fun? Well, Brooke Green joins us.
She does.
And we're going to have different things that are more visually, where we have to have a visual component.
Don't say you were going to say visually stimulating, weren't you?
I was, yeah. But it's different. And so it's on iTunes, so that's the main thing. If you want to access it, go to iTunes. You can access it there.
WhiteboardWednesday.tv or go to iTunes for Whiteboard Wednesday. And cost is?
Cost is free.
Still again.
Once again, yeah, more content
more
for nothing.
Good karma. It's karma. It's
That's
good
right.
karma. We're spreading the love. So let's see. We are talking today. We're going to I took a page out of your playbook, Bill.
Okay.
If I might. This is our playbook. You can actually buy this thing, correct?
You can buy it on the Kindle if you have a Kindle.
Ah, Kindle.
And you will be able to buy it on the iBookstore.
Yep.
But not on the bookstore, but through the bookstore. But yeah, definitely the Kindle if you're Kindle, and if you have an iPad or iPhone, I think you can get a Kindle application, so you can still download it.
Can you? Is it, so I shouldn't slam Kindle. 'Cause I feel like Kindle to the iPad is, but Kindle's got a.
It's a different
deal, right?
Yeah.
Did you know I was on The Price is Right? You did know that, didn't you?
I did know that.
So did that. We'll put that up on video. Okay, so I had before the show. This is the playbook. There, the 100 most common scenarios every salesperson faces. We're going to on the fly pick 2. Now, Kathy gave us 2. Kathy Macaluso, who are our dear director of operations here, gave us 2 numbers between 1 and 100. We're going to open these up and we're just going to read them and then we're going to comment on them. Fair enough?
Okay.
I hope this goes well. First number she gave me
There's called editing is what it's called.
And Kathy hates things on the fly. And I said, pick 2 numbers between 1 and 100.
She couldn't even do that.
Looked at me. Took her like 18 minutes. Ooh, let me think about that. Should I go
even,
over
odd?
50? Should they be close together? I don't know. It's kind of fun. Okay, 59, 59, 59. Here you go. You ready?
Now, what are we going to do here? You're going to read one to me,
read the question.
and I'm going to.
Well, let's kind of both talk about them because I've not seen them either.
Okay.
You want to try to stump each other. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
We'll see where it goes. Okay, to a prospect where the decision makers have changed and the new decision maker isn't on your side or doesn't know yet if he or she's on your side. So this is when I've been talking or selling to somebody, and all of a sudden a new buyer comes into the
New sheriff in town.
New sheriff in town. Yep. His name is Reggie Hammond. You know what that's from? You don't know what that's from? There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Reggie Hammond.
Well, it's because you memorize every TV and movie you see, so I don't have that power.
There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Reggie Hammond. Y'all be cool.
That's your special.
You know
what is it from? No.
48 Hours. Oh, my gosh. Brilliant. The bar scene. Excellent. Okay. What do I do? New buyer comes in. I've got a good relationship. And then all of a sudden, boom, someone new comes into town. What do I do? You want to go first?
Okay.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, I just had this question at a client a couple of weeks ago, and they experience a lot of this. A lot of buyer shifts and changes, and it's not always buyers leave the company; it's they get assigned to different divisions or reassigned. But before I talk about what I would do, as I'm thinking about what I would do and formulating it as I talk about something else, which in itself is an art.
You sound like Miss South Carolina answering that question on YouTube. What I think directly to South America and Iraq is we should.
But I can do it.
Buy everybody maps. You got to go check out that clip on YouTube. Anyway, Can I start?
Well, yeah. Let me tell you the rest of my story here.
Stalling.
No, I'm not stalling. The key is, if you have this happen a lot, is to create some kind of a system so that when it does happen, you'll know what paper to pull out. Because I find a lot of times in a sales force of 15 people, it might happen 3 or 4 times for each person over the year. That's 45, 50 times for the entire sales force. And you sales managers should be developing some kind of a set of procedures so that when it happens, we're not always fumbling around.
Thinking about it. That's very, very smart.
So what would you do?
Very good advice.
Let's suppose you have the system. What's on the paper?
Yeah, process. So I always start mentally. I start inner game wise with my client, and for you that are listening, I suggest you start the same way. So new buyer comes into the fray. There's typically what feeling? I've been working with you. We're doing great. All of a sudden, you disappear. Now there's a little
nervousness, a little anxiety.
Yeah, I'm maybe bothered.
Basket case. I don't know
what to do. So I've got to mentally kind of reset, right? And I also have to mentally reset the deal where it is. And what I find the biggest mistake salespeople make is they assume that the deal's going to just keep going where it was going at the rate it was going.
Now you're talking about where there's a prospect situation where there's an opportunity. Okay.
Yes, where there's an opportunity. Yeah. So you and I have been talking.
Okay, I agree.
Like we should. Now you move along. Now a new one comes in.
Just pick it up where we left off.
Well, and we make this assumption because we're afraid that if I bring up or back up at all, this new person may say no or whatever. So I think it's better to back up to say, look, I've been dealing with Bill for a long time on this, and I can tell you a little bit about where we are. But what's most important is we kind of reset from the start, and I get your perspective and opinion on this thing. And let's talk and dialogue a little bit, and let's just see where we wind up.
You would say that?
I would.
Yeah, that's perfect. Actually, write down what Brian just said.
Okay, I can't remember.
Because that's perfect.
I can never remember what I say.
I know,
it just comes from
but it's recorded. It's here.
Yeah. So yeah, rewind that, listen to that again, because that's what it is. Go back. That person's got a different opinion, perspective. We don't know where they came from, and then away we go. They may have different pains. Go ahead.
And chances are, sorry to interrupt. Chances are they, sometimes they have allegiance to another vendor or another way of doing things. It's not always another vendor, but you want to clear the air and get that out in the open. And the way to do that is not to go in and try to convince them that they should be doing exactly what the previous buyer does, because they're a different person. So.
Yeah.
But I like that mental reset is really good.
Yeah, really, really important, because that's the mistake I find most salespeople make is they don't. And in fact, in some cases, they actually do the opposite. I've seen salespeople try to take advantage of the new person and tell the new person that they were actually farther along with the old person than they really were.
Not a good idea.
Hoping that they
bad karma
sign the thing. Not a good idea at all. So, any other?
No, I think that's good.
I love the idea too of having a sales process. Or a process for the sales manager.
It's the new sheriff process.
I love it.
Sales managers, you got to do that, or salespeople who have a lot of responsibility and accountability. Make sure you get that done. And it could be some kind of step one is a total review of the relationship, where you go in and talk to the person and say, look, as a new person, you might want to know where we've been, where we are. Here are some notes from previous meetings. It could be things like that. But I think the worst assumption is that it's just going to be the same.
Yeah, and you also have to recognize new people that come into a role are typically gun shy to make too many decisions very quickly. Yeah. So it's probably going to delay things. So I'd instantly probably move that deal back in the funnel.
That's true. That's true. I mean?
So,
all right. Next number.
The Reggie Hammond move. New sheriff in town. Ready? 43. Right. Kathy selected 43 as our second one. You ready?
Yep.
This is good. What do I say to a prospect where you've begged and sold your soul to get in there, but you still haven't gotten invited in? What do I say there?
You've begged to get in the door, but you haven't been invited to come in.
You haven't been invited to come in. Yeah. So the guy's almost doing you a favor. He's like, fine, I'll see you. Come on in.
Courtesy
call. That's good. That's very good. Yep. Courtesy, yes. Courtesy, I'll see you. That's exactly what this is.
My daughter gets some courtesy minutes on the volleyball team.
Have you switched sides?
Huh?
Courtesy minutes.
Courtesy minutes. That's when the coach puts you in because you're on the team, and
the mandatory.
The game is either totally lost or totally won, and it's just courtesy. Hey, go ahead, get in there.
I know those players. Yep, I see them in the fourth.
We've all experienced courtesy minutes.
I was a courtesy kid on basketball, no question about it. Okay, let's see. There's 18 seconds. It's 42 to 27. Neil. Should go in for Hinton in there.
Play good defense. Okay, yeah, like it matters.
But you know what I always did? To get my name in the book and in the paper, I always fouled somebody, because I was a football player. I just hacked the hell out of some guy. Yeah. All right. I begged and pleaded to get in. Guy says, fine, yeah, I'll see you. That's fine.
Neil, what are you doing? Fouling.
You get the old thing. So what do you at? One of those deals.
Okay.
You want to go?
So I'm in front of a person, and they've not invited me in, but I've begged.
Yeah.
So here's what I would probably lean toward, and that is telling, kind of coming clean with that.
Yep.
And saying to the prospect, when I called you 17 times over the last 3 days to try to get an appointment, I would say, I know that I sort of begged my way in here or asked for an appointment. Why while I probably shouldn't have done that, I do know that sometimes there are people who see me who have a reason to see me. So I'd like to start by saying there's 3 or 4 reasons people, sort of agenda items that they usually want to talk about when I am asked to come in. So why don't I share those with you, and then you tell me if any of those fit or whether this was just a courtesy meeting.
Yeah, very, very good.
Courtesy
very
appointment.
Good. Let's see. I don't know if it'll be any different at all. Let me think about what I would say there. Okay, so another approach might be, and this will go back to when would I ever beg to go see anybody?
Right.
It's kind of against the whole mentality to start with,
yep.
right? So here's what a time I go back again. I keep resetting to this inner game thing, but I go to my intent, right? And if I see or know something about a customer or prospective client that I know they've got some pain or problems from however I found that out, and I know that I've got a solution to them, that may cause me to be a bit more aggressive on the front end to come see them.
Okay.
And then I would put that on the table too.
Yeah.
To say it's not typical in my process to be so persistent to come see people. There's a reason I did it in this case, and normally I don't. Let me tell you why I did it, and see if that just opens up some dialogue
that's
for us.
good.
And so then I'm saying, okay, you know, I know your company. I read this in the paper. I saw this on the internet. I know these things are going on. We've worked with a couple other clients in that very specific realm, and I thought, you know, shame on me if I've got something that can really be helpful to you, and I don't, you know, kind of fight my way to get in here to show it to you. At least I can show it to you and tell you why I wanted to come here. Then if you want to say no thanks, at least I'll sleep better.
But that last part is really important and something that we sometimes leave out, and that's that pressure relief valve where you say, just because I think it might be right for you doesn't mean you will think it's right. Even after a 1-hour call today, you may look down at your nose at me and say, you know what, thanks, but no thanks, and that's totally okay too. So don't forget to put that in, because that's what changes the dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The other suggestion I'd make to people who are in that mode is there are a lot of salespeople who are competitive and who really get their jollies by winning and conquering. And sometimes I feel like this aggressiveness to get in is kind of
is a win.
I won the first quarter. Now I'm going to try to win again, and that over-aggressiveness can really rub people the wrong way. It's a really interesting dichotomy when you kind of do that aggressiveness to get in, and then you're soft when you're in, and you're relaxed when you're in, and kind of changes the perspective perhaps of that person across the desk. So
good.
That's good.
Well, we'll keep doing these playbook scenarios because we've got 100 of them here. Once again, you can download this in ebook format from the Kindle or the iBook store, or you can go to sales-playbook.com. Vanna, who was the Price is Right? Was there a Vanna White on the Price is Right?
When I was there, Holly was still there, who I always thought was
Holly. First name, I have no idea
who Holly
is.
Huh. Oh, if you know who Holly is, would you send Bill a picture? You don't know who Holly is from Price is Right? Oh my God!
I'll YouTube.
Holly was there. I think Diane was gone, but Bob Barker was there.
Oh, Bob Barker. You could have said Bob. Why'd you say Bob Barker?
Well, it was old school. So some people are listening, are youngsters. They think Drew Carey.
Some people, like I think 90%.
Is the only Price is Right guy. He's not. So Playbook, whiteboardwednesday.tv.
Right.
Find us on LinkedIn and Twitter. A lot of you have been LinkedIning us, which we like, linking up with us on LinkedIn. Please do that. B. Neal, B. Caskey.
Make sure you mention podcast too in the LinkedIn.
Yes, please do
that. Helps.
And,
all right.
Thanks for listening.
See ya. Bye.